Check 1 2. Check check. Mic check 1 2. Notification gang, where y'all at? It's 2017. Come on in.
Where will you be in a year? Will you still be playing those same tired old riffs?
I'm gonna give
Crippling knowledge gaps?
people a little bit more time to trickle in. I mean, it is like 4 in the morning, New Year's Day. If you noticed on the graphic, I'm gonna be demoing iMPC Pro on iPad. So let's get ready to dig into this boy. Let's bring in 2017 right. Yo, shout out to everybody who subscribed in 2016, man. Y'all got me at 1.1K. I appreciate that. I did record a thank you video, but I didn't drop it yet. But this will be a nice little treat. So I'll be reviewing this app and doing an overview. It looks like I got 2 viewers. What's up, y'all? I'll be reviewing this and doing an overview, but then I won't go in depth on this particular video. I'll go in depth later, but I'll get pretty deep on this one because this is a big boy toy. This is a big boy toy. You think because it's an app, like, oh yeah, it's a rinky dink, it's a throwaway, whatever. Shout out to Retro Nims. Follow at Retro Nims. Matter of fact, if you're watching this, whether it's live or on the replay, go ahead to the App Store and grab iMPC Pro, and then in the comment section, let me know that you copped it from watching this video. All right, let me check my live chat. Let me see who's up in this thing. Tommy Stockman. What's up, Tommy? Let me go and shoot you a Happy New Year real quick. Cool. Who else is in here, man? Let me hit you with a quick shout out. Bada bing, bada bip. This is gonna be fun. All right, so this NPC Legend is pretty cool. It's a game that shows you how to sequence with NPC. So it doesn't matter if you have an NPC 500 or 1,000 or 2,000, 2,500. The sequencer, and I'll get into all that. It's pretty much all the same. So we got our logos here. One thing that I noticed straight off, and this is only like my 3rd time opening this up, the floppy disk design that they put on the songs. You used to have to drop floppy disk into the MPC, and so I thought this was really cool. The coders over there at Retro Nim, they own the good stuff, man. But it's excellent coding with the graphics. You notice that straight off. Let's see, RJ Jones, Happy New Year, bro, man. Do you? Hey, thanks for coming through, bro. I appreciate it. All right, so right off, I'm noticing, you know what I'm saying, we got the floppies. And at the top of the floppies, they're labeled. Songs are labeled. That's cool. So as I swipe through, I can see the BPM of the songs written next to it. And I'm wondering if you could import other MPC files from. I'm sure you can, because they've been interchangeable for a while. Um, but yeah, that's really dope. The way that they have the floppy disk set up with the songs or whatever. All right, so got a little plus sign here. So I get templates. I got acoustic drums, ambient drums, hip hop drums, world, all kinds of crap. I would like to have a blank template. It would be nice to have a blank template. There it is, 0 blank canvas. Okay, cool. Because I like to make my own drums. If you guys have any questions or anything you want me to tap on or whatever, holla at me. Let's see, I'm going to hit welcome. Welcome to iMPC Pro. I'm not going to read all this to y'all. It's a beat creation app on the iPad. Main mode has a flux link. Chop up samples. And make it bump, apply turbo duct to your kick drum. Compression ducts. Okay. I'm going to have to check out this turbo duct. Okay, they got precision mode with the faders and knobs. Ooh, I love tweaking. Alright, so get help anywhere. They got a help drop down menu. And iMPC Cloud Seeker. I think that's inside the app. That may be a external server joint. So I'm just kind of click around here. Let's see what happens when I click on the drop down. Okay, it looks like I have these same sessions that are on the floppies here. Okay, my sessions, blank. Okay, cool. Let's go to content store. You need to have audio copy for that. So this is the store where you would need to download audio copy to be able to get these drop packs. This is where Retro NIMS and AKAI drops all of their sample packs. Some of them are as cheap as like a couple bucks, and then others that are like 10. And so I'm gonna audition. Actually, when you click on browse, you can drop down this menu right here, and you can take a look at genres, and then you can also go to publishers and say, hey, I want something. I just want to pull up the Retro NIM packs. Bought a bit. I'm kind of feeling this boom bap all stars right here. Load up a couple of these loops here and see what goes down. I know this is extra, right? I'm supposed to be doing iMPC, but it all works together. Let's see here. Oh, that's not loaded yet. That's cool. And so these are all sounds. Ooh. These are all sounds that you can drop onto the pads. So these drums are ill, man. They're ill. They're super ill. Alright, so cool. Content store. I love that. Alright, so we're gonna go back to iMPC Pro. New to this app. I'm not new to iMPC, but I'm new to iMPC Pro. So I'm pretty proficient at making beats on MPC no matter what platform, but Pro has a lot of extra bells and whistles that the average producer doesn't have access to at their fingertips on the go. So if you got your iPad with you and you got an iMPC in your iPad, man, please, especially if you can export, pro sounds at, pro level. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this bad boy open. Again, if you're watching live, throw me something in the chat. I'm chatting with people. This is where I left off last time. I was going through the songs, and I think I had decided on making my own from scratch, or maybe even loading one. Oh yeah, I remember there were template drums, right? So we have template drums. I'm gonna rock with the, I think I saw I'm gonna just go with something blank. About a bit, we're gonna load that disc in real quick. Hopefully my video is decent with this camera. This particular camera is kind of old. That's all I can say. It's just old. It's not horrible. It's just old. All right, so I will be a little chatty on this one because y'all know how I like to lay it all the way back. Looks like nobody wants to chat with me in the chat room right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut that down and then get to work here. All right, so I started with an empty a blank template. Let's see if a drum pattern or a kit is on here. Nope, looks like it's blank. All right, cool. So what I would do now is I would go to program mode. So we got main, program, mixer, timeline, song mode on the bottom. I'll go into program mode, and we got the parameters here, but I will go, don't want to bump the cam. I will go to my sounds here in the bottom right, boom. And I got all my AKAI sounds, my sounds, project. It's basically, you can navigate the folders here, so it's pretty cool. Let's look at some funk soul samples. And I'm gonna audition these joints. Sound decent. Okay, maybe I should be looking at packs instead of individual sounds. I just want to load something in real quick. So I'm gonna throw something like Trap Massive on the joint. Yeah, that's nice and heavy, ain't it? Alright, so as you could tell right away with that heavy 808 on the first pad, that we're not playing with lightweight. This is heavy. Alright, looks like I got some viewers. What up, y'all? Holla at me in the chat. You can tell we're not dealing with lightweight here. That's nice. Alright, so At first glance, just dealing with an MPC, I'm gonna go back to main mode. At first glance, it's really easy to load the kits in if you're familiar. If you're not, you got banks A through D up here. Boom. See what's in bank B. Another drum kit. Cool. Yeah, nice. Let's see. With AKAI, one thing AKAI is really dope for is the note repeat. And so if I got something like this hi-hat, I will hold down the note repeat. And it looks like I can two-handed change the cadence of my hats. So that's dope. One of the doper things that I noticed is that they have a filter right here at the touch of your fingertips. And so if you're playing something like, let's see if I can find a vocal. I need some type of vocal. So like, excuse me, y'all. So if I'm playing this vocal sample right here, I can totally glitch it out and put it through all different types of filters just by tapping over here. So I'm gonna press on, give me a beat, but then I'm gonna glitch it out. Which that's pretty dope, you know what I'm saying, just to implement onto your beat right off the jump. I mean, it's pretty breathtaking, you know what I'm saying. If you a pro producer and this is something that you're working with, you know, right off the jump. I mean, so as far as tracks, once I tap on the tracks, you can see if you have banks A through D, that's 16 pads times 4 multiplied by 64 tracks. So you can put 64 tracks into this joint on one particular song. The easiest part about the joint that I was noticing is once you go to timeline mode, you can sit here and step sequence all of your notes, and each note is individually, the parameters can be manipulated by double tapping from your the tune of the sample to the velocity, resonance, and the other dope part about this is the precision editing that I was learning about, where you can tweak the knobs as well. And so you know how we like tweaking. So there's a lot of stuff in here at first glance. Like, it's really... All right, so here in the main mode, once I click on this little drop down top left hand, you got your CP usage. So, you know, depending on what iPad you have, what type of processor you got, this bad boy lets you know how much CPU you're using. And so I imagine, you know, that would be useful if you like me, you got like 15,000 freaking apps open and a browser with 15,000 tabs up in that mug. You know what I'm saying? And you're texting and talking on your Bluetooth earpiece, and 15,000 emails are coming in all at one time. So the CPU would be definitely useful. So that you know, hey, I need to shut some stuff down. Battery level, of course, is dope for any producer, because if you use any battery powered MPC like the 500, it's good to know how much juice you got so that you can save your beat before you know because the MPC keeps everything surface. The kits are all on the surface like a desktop, and if you don't save your sequence, if you don't save your kits, they're gone forever. Um, and so even here, it's got a quick save. It's got to save as duplicate, and it's got to save and close, and it's got close project, lose changes, and the MPC is really proficient at collecting MIDI data and saving it, and rocking all of your audio in conjunction with your MIDI information. But if you don't hit that save button, I don't care how dope your beat is. It's gone to the universe. So yeah, again, if you're in the chat room right now, throw me a quick shout out, and I'll throw you a quick shout out. So yeah, you can turn your MIDI on and off. For you guys that like to network computers or even your external hardware, you might have like a Korg or a Roland or something like that, and you decide that you want to implement this as it's software, but you can use it as a hardware piece. That's dope too. And then your tabletop inner app connectivity via MIDI and audio and stuff like that. There's a couple of things that I'm gonna get into in a couple other tutorials later, so I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. So you got your help button, and so that's always good. Here's a sequence. It's the area where you build all your sequences. I think you got 64 sequences that you can fill in for each song. I don't know who would build a 64 sequence song, but hey, if you got it like that, cool. Me, I'm gonna rock a 8-bar intro max. I'm gonna rock a 16-bar hook. A chorus max, 16-bar verses with hooks in between, a young 8 hook at the end, and the outro, which might be 8, 4, somewhere in between their bars, and then on a good day, I might sequence a whole beat out on one pattern sequence. So 64 is more than enough for you greedy guys. Did I say greedy guys? That's so cheesy. So yeah, I'm loving the glitch mode. I love that. That's something that you can't find on any apps. And trust me, I use a lot of apps. And there's no glitch mode. There's no tape stop. And the low pass filters, the low and high pass and the band pass filters on apps are they're kind of cheesy. I know that there's an update in another app, which I won't say any names right now, but it's pretty generic. MPC just kind of plants the flag into putting those filters onto samples. Man, it's just quasi. That's it. It's quasi. So you got your time correct. You know what I'm saying? I keep mine on 16th notes no matter what DAW I'm using, no matter what beat machine or whatever. I may, if I'm doing some trap, I might flip it into 8 triplets. I may do triplets every now and then. It depends on what it calls for. Of course, you got your erase. While you're playing it, you hit the erase and you hold the pad, and then erase it for the duration of the time that you hold it, that you hold the pad, that you played it. You got your sequencer. This tells it to play the next sequence in your sequence lineup, I guess you would call that. The sequence drop down. Track mute. Shut the track down. Make it be quiet while you're doing what you're doing. Pad mute. And of course 16 levels. So, look at that. So when you hit 16 levels, of course, I use this is a sidebar. I use a AKAI MPD 24, and I've said this in another video. They didn't put the freaking note repeat on the joint, and so you have to work around that. But I'm looking, and here, even if I'm using my MPD 24 to trigger this app, I can just put the joint on 16 levels, and it automatically gives me a legend over here to either affect the filter, the velocity, the resonance, or the tuning. And I just like the tuning to really just come up with melodies. I'm messing around with this vocal pad right now.
Give me a beat. 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 Give me a beat.
So we got the tuning that we can mess around with.
Give me a beat.
The resonance.
Give me a beat. Give me a beat. Give me a beat.
Let's go to Bank D.
Give me a beat. Give me a beat. Give me a beat. Give me a beat.
We can mess with the filter.
Give me a beat. Give me a beat. Give me a beat.
It's a little too low.
Give me a 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 give me 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 a beat. Give me a beat. Give me a beat. Give me a beat.
And we can also mess with the velocity.
Give me a beat.
So that would be 0 value. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so on and so forth.
Give me a beat. Give me a beat.
And I guess the 16th pad in Bank D would be full level.
Give me a beat.
So that's pretty cool.
Give me a beat.
And that's the perfect sample to use. Give me a beat. So let me turn that 16 levels off. So I mean, at first glance, man, this app is it's amazing. Shout out to Retro Nims. Follow at Retro Nims on Instagram. They update pretty frequently. They're on Twitter as well. Follow AKAI_pro. They update pretty often, and they respond on Twitter. Like if you have, some type of issue with some gear that you bought from them or something, their guys are really good at responding quickly. And then Retro Nims, this is their like baby, and I'm totally wowed by this. I mean, the look of it, I love, because it looks, and it kind of feels like I'm playing an MPC. It kind of feels like it. All the extra bells and whistles, though, it's gonna take some getting used to, because of course it is it's app specific. It's very appy. It's very appley. It's appledy dap. One other thing that's really cool about the way that this thing is coded is just like just like a devil with a blue dress on. No, just like a desktop. I can scroll through my folders, whether it's my own samples or the ones that come with the program, and I can audition them here. Let me find something worthy. I should have my headphones on, right? I don't need headphones. Who needs headphones to make music? All right, so let me
Level 1. Level 10.
I'm really not feeling this right now. These samples, I need
You
something.
win.
Need something a little different.
Blow up. Blow up.
All right, so dude saying blow up. Let's just say I don't like this sample here. I can just tap onto it till it highlights, drag him right there, bam,
Blow up.
and then he's on the pad. And so once I get him on the pad,
Blow up.
I could take him and drag him off, bam, and then he's gone. You dig? And so that's dope. The intuitiveness of this and the user friendliness of it is really cool, because it's like,
Blow up.
okay, now I got the joint on the pad, all I gotta do now is just tap onto my parameters.
Blow up. Blow up.
Then I can tune him.
Blow
I can put
up.
different type of filters on them. I can pan them left, pan them right. You know what I'm saying? And then they added this new feature. Double tap. I can put 2 fingers here, and then it gives me precision editing. It just snaps to a grid, so it's automatically centered here. Or if I want to just tweak individual values, like 1 to 5 values. All right, you guys are gonna have to hold on a second. That's the call from the wife. So you can tweak these individual note values, and you can even see the gear turning. Like, there's a lot of time and effort put into writing this code, but you can see that the knob actually glows. They added some aqueduct technology. I mean turbo aqueduct. I just think aqua because the little line turns into like a wave, and it's like the duck is going underwater. So when I hit this sample, there's a certain amount of special compression that goes onto that particular sample. And you can add that to as many samples as you want. And I think it's compression for bass. I haven't tweaked around with that yet. Again, you know, this is early. So you got your resonance filters, your lo-fi, your hi-fi filters. You can make the sample polyphonic or monophonic. And then you can also edit the sample. You can truncate it by dragging your finger left and right. You can edit the name of the sample, and you can save it into your own pack. You can rename the joint and specify what folder you want to put it in. You can audition what's left of the sample, audition the part that you trimmed out. So if I trim this, and then I trim this, and I want to listen to the part before and the part after and the actual trim, that's cool. If I want to make a drum kit out of let me go back. So if I want to make, if this is a let's say if this is a vinyl sample, and I want to make a drum kit out of it, we can throw this into the auto chop and tell it, yo, make 16 even slices out of this joint, and then we can throw it onto the pads. There's a bunch of options. We got the slice looper. I mean, that alone, you know, just sounds really dope. Haven't really tweaked around with the the slice looper yet, but it seems as if there's some nice options here. So let's leave out of that joint. So we can chop our samples, we can save them, rename them, do all kinds of different things to it. Let me check my little chat room here, see if anybody hollering at me. So yeah, man, go ahead and go to iTunes and cop that iMPC Pro. And in the comment section, let me know that you grabbed the joint. Kind of gives me a little bit of encouragement to let me know I should keep doing the iMPC Pro series. Alright, so we'll go to new sound. It's asking me, can it use my mic to capture, I don't know, my vocals? Check 1, 2. Yes. Brala is the illest. So yeah, we got our threshold here, which is good. Later on, I'm gonna be trying to experiment with external hardware with this particular app. I don't know how deep the coding goes. I don't know how deep the rabbit hole goes. But if I can go so far as to hook a vinyl record player up to the app, I mean, that alone is worth the money that I spent on this app. Having a beat machine sampler, you know, because some of the apps, you know, they'll let you take something out of iTunes, you know, and there's a couple other workarounds that myself and a couple other producers use to e-dig and stuff like that. But to go straight into the iPad from a vinyl record player would be amazingly ill, which I'm pretty sure it can be done. Actually, I do it with a couple other apps, and so I'm pretty sure I can do it with this app. So we got our turntable here, and I'm pretty sure that uses to load from iTunes, just like the other app, iMPC on iPhone. Oh, looks like we have some inter-app capabilities as well. And so I can draw samples from other apps. So it not only samples internal, but it can sample external audio from on the phone. I mean, on the let's explore that. I'm gonna pull something open like the Chord K oscillator real quick. Let's see how this feels. We're gonna get that a second to load up. Okay, maybe I need to launch the app first. Okay, so let's find Chord K oscillator. So it just sampled everything that I just did.
Blow up.
So if I wanted to take this nice little kick here with the 808, I could totally chop that and save it. I could retry, I could click done. Alright, so there's your parameters in the program. Hopefully I'm not missing anything. And again, this is just the first glance. I'll dig a whole lot deeper when I start doing tutorials on this particular app. But we got our mixer. It comes with EQ, reverb, delay, chorus, all built into the joint. We got our main joint. We can throw gain. We got a compressor here. This is just top of the line, bro. This is top of the line stuff, man. So we have an arranger for our sequences to build our beats, and that seems as if it's a pretty good overview on my end. I think I went over everything. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I went over everything. And so, I would say that at first glance, if I was rating this 1 out of 10, I would give it like a 25. Just because of the simple fact that it resembles the MPC so much, and then it also gives you all of these ready-made kits, and it gives you songs. It gives you songs. Let me go all the way out into the default sessions. The demo sessions. It gives you songs to work with, So, you know, if you remember back in the day, or if you're old enough to remember when the MPCs um, were hardware joints, and we didn't have like MPC essentials and all that, you didn't get any sounds, man. You had to get some discs from somebody that had sounds, or you had to get your own record player, man, and start building your own library of sounds. But I'm looking on here, like I'm gonna pull something up, like usually demo songs on joints are usually whack. Like, you remember when you used to buy like a Casio or a Yamaha, and then you play that demo song, and it'd be like ring ticka ting ting ticka ting 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 ticka ticka ting 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 ting. Anyways, so this joint is called Dilla Dreams. I'm gonna just see what it sounds like. Play next sequence. So that's decent. You know what I'm saying? That's decent. Um, so that's why I would give it, you know, a 25, just because it comes with all of these sounds. Um, let's see what these drums are sounding like, because if you're gonna put Dill on here, these drums better be on point. That needs to be mono. But I would say that's pretty dreamy. That's pretty dreamy. You know, Dilla had that nice little swing to his snares. Yeah. So that's a nice drum kit. So yeah, 1 out of 10, I give it a 25, and it's just an amazing app. So shout out to Retro Nims. Thanks for everybody that came through to check out the live feed, and stay tuned. I got some good stuff coming for y'all. All right, holla, holla, holla. Cop that iMPC Pro.